Hello and welcome to the Q&Q for today. Today happens to be the first day of August 2018, August the 1st, and it is the Ask Yourself This question, or quoting question, say, of the day here from me, J. Clifton Payne of Ask Yourself This. This is a very long-standing project that does more than just give you the typical quote of the day. It also asks you a question inspired by that quote. Hopefully you'll enjoy both of them, and hopefully you'll do what's necessary to use these as a tool or just kind of use them as something fun to do. Now, the tool part is simple. We want you to actually use these as a journal trigger, a journal topic for the day, something for you to think about and go about your day with a fresh and renewed experience as you reset, because we're assuming this is one of the first things you do in a day. For some people, their journaling is the back end, so maybe it's something you use to wind down. But this is a quote in question initially made to get your day jump started. So hopefully you are taking some time early, or at least taking some time to journal the question, at least thinking about the question. We suggest you put it in a very nice journal so you have something nice to really look forward to doing and for sharing in the future. We have two versions of a very beautiful thing called the Ask Yourself This notebook. This is the spiral version right here, and this one right here is the hardbound version. Very beautiful. You can take them along with you for note-taking anywhere you want to if you're a journal person. If you aren't a journal person and want to just get started writing things down, go out and buy a spiral notebook and just use that until you get into the flow. You will see the difference in yourself as you can compare yourself from whenever you answered a certain question and look at yourself in the future, days, months, weeks, maybe even years in the past, to see how you were, maybe how you might still be, or how you might not still be. We also suggest, if you're not a paper person, just open a notes app on your phone, tap away a couple of lines about what you think about the question, and make sure there's a date on it so you can check it as well. Now, if you're up to it, if you're feeling brave, or if the question just is so out there, you just have to jump in, we want you to share it along with us in our social media. We have 3 links in social media. On Facebook, it is Ask Yourself This. On Twitter, it's Ask Yourself THI_. And on Instagram, it's Ask Yourself This _. Check out those sites, and you'll see the quote in question come every single morning at 6:35 a.m. in your feed Central Time. So wherever you are at that time, look for it in your feed and you can see the question. Go ahead and journal along with it, or just answer it in the social media link right there, or at least take a moment to think about what's going on. We also want your input on which quotes and questions are the better. So by answering the question, or at least liking, loving, hating, sharing, and giving some response on social media, we know which ones are giving the biggest response for you out there. So we can recycle them, if you will, use them for a bigger, better purpose. More of that in a bit. Right now, let's go ahead and get into the quote in question for this day. It happens to be a Wednesday, the 1st of August, 2018. We are now in the middle of the fourth quarter, or the third quarter for the year. And so time is coming to wind things down, and time's come to take a little bit of a whimsical look at the year that's passed and the year that's coming. And for this start to the 8th month, we picked this quote, or maybe it picked us because it's Chuck Norris, and it's one that we pretty sure he actually said, not just a Chuck Norris is so awesome that awesome is afraid of Chuck Norris. This is an actual something that he said that's attributed to him in something that's kind of cool. So the quote for today reads like this: "Men are like steel. When they lose their temper, they lose their worth." So that's a pretty tough, pretty powerful quote from a pretty tough, pretty powerful man. That is Chuck Norris. No, all kidding aside, no puns intended in that one. Now, the question inspired by this is, how can you be sure of the validity of your own knowledge? A bit of a takeoff, bit of a swerve from the actual thought process of the actual quote. So here's the thought on that quote. We use a Chuck Norris quote that we're pretty sure Chuck Norris actually said, as opposed to the sort of Chuck Norris sayings that just grew across the internet. And so because no one really knows exactly if this is something he said, sounds pretty good and we'll take that, we weren't sure about the true validity, but we're going along with it anyway. So what is the measure you know to make sure that what you are talking about, or what you actually know, is valid? Is the things that you believe really what you believe? Now, that may sound kind of odd, but think about it for a second. A lot of people are living off of various things that just aren't true. old wives' tales that scientifically have been disproved and just rationally have been disproved, but people still live by those thought processes. And a lot of things you live by aren't so much really traditions or some sort of knowledge that you've built up to. It's superstition. It's if you do something this way, something will go wrong. Not by a process, not because A to B to C happens, but because some mythical weirdness of the world will come out of place. All of a sudden, bam, weird things happen. So that's the oddity of life and some of the things we know. And as we find out, some of the knowledge that we think we know is not exactly true. Now, a lot of these things come from the past and people in the past not knowing any better. But as we get older, we as a society, as a people, not particularly ourselves particularly, but that happens as well, we find out that a lot of things that we learned in our childhood personally and in the infancy of civilization, if you will, ain't exactly how it happened. So how do you know that what you know, what you believe, what you think, and what you feel is actually valid, or just some sort of thing you've put into your head that you have assumed to work, so you make it work because it sort of works? We'd like you to share with us your ideas on this question and share your favorite Chuck Norris saying if you want to, since it is a Chuck Norris day. There are 3 social media sites that we're looking for these things on, all attached to us, by the way. Ask Yourself This is on Facebook at Ask Yourself This. It's on Twitter at Ask Yourself THI_, and Instagram at Ask Yourself This _. If you go to the full Ask Yourself This, they go to other people whose accounts, oddly enough, aren't even active. So once I find those guys, maybe I'll get those. But in the meantime, we're stuck with the underscores for the Twitter and the Instagram. And as I said, we really want to know which ones you think are the better of the questions and the quotes, because we are actually recycling them into bigger, better purposes. Right here is the page, a page from the brand new, newly named, I keep forgetting the name, Daily Planning and Notes Worksheet, which has a section on this side where you can do your planning for the day. I call it a Daily Dozens planning sheet. It's been revised, so it works a little better. After years of using it myself, I came up with a even better version of it that had less items on it, which means you can be more focused on what you're doing. And a section right here, there you go, where you can answer the question of the day, go along with a quote of the day. You get a month's worth of sheets on PDF where you can print them out and you can write it out, fold it in half, carry your note sheets around, carry your quote and question if you don't answer it early, or just think about it all day long. Consider this for a small fee, just $5. You can check that out by going to jclevelandpayne.net and clicking on downloads. We're looking for better routes to do this. We'll probably also put it all over the place in the links for videos and other things around. So look for those there and you'll see it everywhere. But we just released it. If you're following me on any of my other newsletters or other avenues of knowledge, I guess we'll say, you'll see links, you'll see various things, you'll see it in the social media feeds as of yesterday when we launched it for the month of August. For $5, we're giving you a sheet for every single day that you can print out, do your daily task list and do your daily quote and question, and keep it for you all day long. And you can, of course, give us any feedback. We have plenty of feedback all for the past couple of months as we've been tweaking with the sheet, and we are working on making one that you can work on online. It's a little bit extra work, if you will, but that's coming down the line. Now, as we said, if you just want to do it the old-fashioned way, and we love that thought, this is the spiral-bound notebook that we sell. You can check the link into the video here, and this one is the hardbound notebook that we also have as well. Better look at it here. A little shiny with the light, so sorry about that. But that's it. That's the quote and question for August the 1st. Thank you for joining us for this trippy journey we've had all year long, and essentially for 10 years with the full project that has been the quote and question or Ask Yourself This. Keep on keeping on. Keep on doing what you do, because this doesn't work without you to be here. And I appreciate all the time, all the effort you put into doing your quote and question, and in just giving me the time of day, literally the time of day, to listen to me and work with my little project. Thank you very much for being here. Join me tomorrow for the video version, which goes into deeper detail of the quote and question. And of course, 6:35 a.m. Central Time on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can get a chance to see the quote in question and answer it for yourself, either in a paper journal, maybe on your notes app, or right in your social media feed. We'd love to see that. I'm Jake Payne signing out with the Q&Q for August the 1st. Tomorrow's August the 2nd. We'll see what magical quote we can come up with and question inspired by it from Ask Yourself This.